I'm Lilia. I work at PagerDuty, where I help customers keep their services healthy and their teams happy. I'm going to talk about how PagerDuty does service ownership, which I've researched a lot, with 3 lessons from Zen philosophy, which I have not researched quite as much, so please set your expectations accordingly. I'm also an incident commander for major incidents, and in both roles, I hear a lot of names of services. And I recognize most of the acronyms, Greek mythical figures, other naming conventions that didn't stick, and then I heard this one. Burgundy? I didn't know what that meant. Someone explained, oh, it's reporting. This will bring me to lesson number 1. The path to nirvana requires an accurate understanding of the nature of things. Ron Burgundy, anchorman, a reporter. Do you get it? Cool. So with SLAs and stakeholders breathing down my neck, I now also have Will Ferrell and that mustache. It's funny, but not helpful. It's not helping me with this incident. What I need right now is that accurate understanding of the nature of things. What I need is at least an understanding of the coherency of our service ownership. What is service ownership at PagerDuty? It's what it says on the tin. Services, what is that service? Why is it important? And ownership. What team owns that service? And who's on call right now so I can ask them a question? See, ICs like me, we like service names that are easy to understand. As it turns out, to on-call responders and new people to your company. Do you remember being new and learning all those words? As your company grows, your infrastructure grows. Your monolith gets broken down into smaller microservices, and now there's just more of everything, more people and more projects, and we wanted to be mindful of how we named our growing number of things, because the trade-off for fun inside jokes is that it alienates people. It adds stress. It wastes time. You might not always be there to explain that inside joke. You might come work for PagerDuty. I don't know. Who said that? Anyway, lesson 2. We didn't do it all at once. You got to start where you are. At PagerDuty, we started updating things in place as we went along, so fixing forward one step at a time. Any change you're going to make to improve your service ownership will be more effective as you fix forward. Maybe it's naming conventions, maybe it's something else. But as new services are built or new teams are formed. And at PagerDuty, we created that reliable index using PagerDuty. So when Izanagi was taking Pollux and Castor down, no, it's not a Japanese deity fighting stars or Greek guys or Nicolas Cage. Any of you feel alienated? No, even our reliable index has some opaque service names, and that's lesson 3. Doesn't make us bad service owners. We're not trying to be perfect. Applying Zen to service ownership means we accept impermanence. We know we'll evolve all the time. We'll know we'll improve all the time. We got to try what works for us now. And what works for PagerDuty right now is that every service has a name that makes sense. It's got a purpose that explains what it does. It has a tier level. We understand how things roll up to the business, so we know how incidents impact our customers or other teams. Throw an emoji in that name. Have fun with it. You can. Every service is now owned by a team, not a single person. Because one person can go on vacation or leave, and then that person becomes a nobody person, and they take all their domain knowledge with them. So every service is owned by a team, which means some teams take on services that they didn't originally build, and they had nothing to do with. So maybe that thing you're building is going to be someone else's responsibility someday. Consider your choices. What can you do to help? Leave it better than when you found it. Throw out those old alerts, update a runbook, tell people what you did. We're all on a journey, and service ownership is no different. We're all patching old stuff and building new stuff. That's how it goes. At PagerDuty, we try to name things well. We sometimes succeed. Burgundy still exists. That's my journey. But consider all the different kinds of teams will be impacted by your choices. Self-describing services, that's just one thing that you can do to make your infrastructure more approachable and maybe make it a little bit easier for new people to go on call, make your ICs a little happier. I've met hundreds of people aiming for the best service ownership, and the happiest ones are going for better. They're fixing forward, starting small, and evolving constantly. We're learning from our mistakes and our successes. And no one, not no one, has it all figured out. Because everyone's got a service with a weirdo name that's maybe orphaned, that's too complicated, and a little bit too sensitive to unravel, and we kind of forgot how to maintain it, and that's fine. It made sense at the time. Start where you are, examine your services and yourselves with compassion, not criticism. Maybe start small, like a name that's easy to understand, like reporting.